What's going on, everybody? It's me, Theo, also known as the Island Boy, and I am back with another video. So today is going to be a really quick and sweet video, but it's highlighting the new Coverfx Illuminating Powder. The two products that they recommended for the particular powder are the Coverfx Gripping Primer, as well as the Coverfx Power Play Foundation. So I'm going to be using both of these before the powders, and you guys know how I love my side-by-side comparison. So then I'm going to go in and I'm going to use the illuminating powder on one side, and then I'm going to use the traditional, give you guys some thoughts, how I feel the powder wears, because this is a powder that you use all over to give a glow from within, whereas the normal translucent powder is just a powder to help set any products that you may place on before. So let's see. Okay, so before we get started with the illuminating powder, I want to start with the gripping primer. I really like this primer because it's a gel-like finish, and it really does give you that glass-like skin and preps the skin really, really nicely, and it works really, really well with the Power Play Foundation, which we'll be applying next before we really get into these powders. Love it. And look at the sheen that it gives you. It really preps the skin nicely and gives a nice finish. Okay, you guys, so now that we've applied the gripping primer, I'm gonna go in with the foundation before we get into the powders. So I'm gonna be using my mix, which is the G90 and the N90. This is my holy grail go-to foundation mix, as you can see, because I can barely even get anything out of my bottles. But I love to mix these two to rip, because I'm not really golden and I'm not really neutral. I'm sort of in between. So yeah, let's go ahead and start applying. Okay, so now let's get into both of the powders. We have one of the traditional perfecting setting powders, and then we have the new illuminating. So the illuminating has no talc. This is going to be a powder that you're sort of using all over the face to give a lit from within glow, whereas the traditional is more so for setting a product and to give you a natural finish as if there isn't any powder. So I'm excited to try these, but I'm going to start out on one side for you to see the translucent powder against flesh skin, and then I'm going to go in with the illuminating powder on the other side. One other thing that I really want to point out that I love about the powders, the packaging. Like, not many of them have the plastic here to hold your powder in, so when you open it, it's falling everywhere, it's getting on your clothes. Basically, anybody who uses loose powder's worst nightmare. And the reason why a lot of people stray away from it, because it destroys your sink and gets makeup everywhere. How many of us have had makeup bags destroyed by loose powder? So this here makes a world of difference. So super grateful for that. So now let's go in and see how this powder looks. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with our regular setting powder just here on. This powder is something that I use a lot. And you'll see that I'm tagging this powder quite a lot. So I'm really super excited to try the other. And this one is really nice just for locking in but not giving a heavy feeling. And that's because the product has no talc in it. So let's just take a look here. A soft matte finish, nice hydrated just foundation. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with the illuminating powder on the other side. So I'm really excited to see this. The instructions tell us to just tap off a little bit and then just lightly sweep on the face. It feels nice, like the original, so that's nice. And this has a green tea extract in it, so it's supposed to really, really keep the skin nice and hydrated so that it doesn't look really cakey. Wow, just perfecting powder, and then this is the illuminating. Wow, loving the illuminating. I think that it really gives like a nice natural finish, and this is the perfect powder for the person that doesn't really like powder. It's going to give you the staying power, but it's also going to give you really, really nice wear. So, I mean, I have to really say that I'm super impressed with the illuminating powder. As you see, there's no flashback, there's no ash, there's no demarcation. It hasn't altered the color of my foundation. And initially looking at the powder, it does look like it has a little shimmer in it, but it's literally light reflecting just to perfect the skin tone, which allows you to use less coverage in your product. So all in all, I would say you guys need to go try this new Coverfx powder and make sure that you stay posted because I definitely will be using it in some looks coming up. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that bell, leave a comment and share. Much love.